I've been waiting all year to do that, Jim.
Yeah.
And we need to get a mic over by you, don't we? Here, there we go. Let's do a little switching around here real quick.
He did the man.
There we go.
He did the monster man.
Today is our annual Ghoulish Show. We're going to try to scare everybody. We have our resident scare expert, Nick Ressler.
He's a pretty scary guy.
Two Products is in-house. Of course, we have the producer extraordinaire, Jim Walsh. How you doing, man?
Hello.
It's been a few weeks.
Yeah. How was the big trip?
It was good.
Good.
It was good. Had a good time.
Did you see any palm trees?
Yeah, I've seen lots of palm trees. Coconuts, little rum.
Cool beans.
Yeah, it was good. Lots of beaches.
A little more rum.
So, yeah, we had a nice time.
You were in Florida at one point, right?
Florida, and then we had we actually took a Disney cruise with the family. So we were out in the Bahamas, and Castaway Cay, I think, is the other island that we were on.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Sounds very touristy.
It was pretty touristy. Yeah. I mean, the Bahamas, well, even the Bahamas, when you go there, that downtown area, of course, is all touristy. It's not real.
I would imagine,
It's like, one person tried to, a lot of cabbies out there trying to give you rides to the authentic Bahamas, to go downtown and that type of thing, because this up here is a mall, But there was a lot of hurricane damage, though. I will say that.
Oh, okay.
We did see quite a few houses and things that had half their roofs blew off and things like that. So
it couldn't be any worse than Haiti. Haiti, for some reason, they get hit hard.
They get hit hard all the time.
Yeah.
I think some of it, too, with Haiti.
Well, they don't have the infrastructure. I mean, it's more of an impoverished country.
That's correct. So they don't have the buildings and that type of thing that we have here, So anyway, Marv Dorner sat in for me the last couple weeks.
Marvelous.
Thanks,
Marv Dorner.
He did a great job as usual. I actually got both shows, so it was fun to listen to. And, of course, like I said, we are going to have our annual Scary Show. And basically today we're going to be talking about how people want to take you from your money and other things. So Nick Ressler, like I said, with Awesome True Products. How you doing, man?
Good.
Good to have you on the show again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every year.
Same day. Well, close to the same day anyway.
Same day, yeah.
This year just happens to be on Halloween.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of cool. So, you have a list of the top 10 worst scams of 2016. So,
I do.
I think this is going to be very interesting. And I really want to, as we go through the show today, Jim and Nick, I really want to take some time as we go through these so people get an understanding about how they can maybe not have these things happen to them. So what are the common sense approaches we can go? So Nick's going to talk about the scam, and then Jim and I are going to kind of dissect it and go that way. So that's right.
Fix.
Or try to anyway.
Right.
So, all right. So number one, Nick, on your top 10.
Okay, the number one of the list is the remote PC repair scam.
Okay.
And that includes the pop-ups. That includes the phone call where people call you and tell you your computer's infected.
Okay.
Yeah.
That includes the IRS scam where you get a call and you supposedly owe back taxes to the IRS and you better pay it or you go to jail. Mm-hmm. Now, I want to caution people, if you get a phone call, when you talk, number one, don't even answer the phone if you don't know who's calling, okay?
Yeah.
If you talk to these people, be polite, don't swear, because here's what's happening now, and this just started. If you're nasty to these people, when they hang up, they call 911 and report you, and they say there's been a murder at your house or whatever, and the SWAT team, or that you're holding people hostages, and the SWAT team shows up. That's their payback. So
unbelievable.
My number one cure is be careful. If you answer the phone and it's one of these scammers, hang up. Now, what I do is I just monitor my phone. If I see the number and I don't know who it is, I let it go to voicemail.
Yeah.
And 99% of the time it doesn't go. They just hang up.
Right.
And then they go on to somebody else.
And if it's somebody that wants to talk to you, they'll leave you a voicemail,
Yes.
and then you can just get right back to them. So that's a very appropriate way. So
if it's legitimate business, they'll leave a message.
Right. So what happens on the PC repair scam?
PC repair scam, you'll get a pop-up that's telling you your PC's infected, not to use it, that has been compromised, and to call a number. You call the number, and it's basically going to be somebody speaking a foreign language, very broken English, which is a tip-off right there, claiming that they're from Microsoft or from some head antivirus group,
Okay.
that doesn't exist. And then they want to have you allow them to log on to your computer. Now, I've seen this before, and we've done this at the shop, where we let them do it. We've taken a clean computer, one that's just been refreshed, brand new, just has an antivirus on it, and let them log in, and they find hundreds of viruses on a computer. And while they're doing this, they're also planting keyloggers and things on your computer to steal your identity and your passwords and credit card or whatever.
So I'm going to stop you right there because a lot of people probably have no idea what a keylogger is. So explain what a keylogger is.
Every time you do something on the keyboard, they record it, so then they watch your pattern. And even if you're kind of smart with your password, they can watch it. And a lot of people will use the same password. Like you use a password for Facebook, so you log into Facebook, not knowing that that's the same password you're using on your bank account.
Sure.
Now they got your password. Now they got your bank account.
Right.
Now they got your money.
So a keylogger, basically, every time you type something on the keyboard, you're typing in your password, numbers, whatever, it's logging those, it's recording those, and then when it's recorded once a day or whatever, it sends this log via email or however back to the bad guys.
Correct.
So they get this thing, and then they're able to say, hey, this is Nick Ressler, and look at where he's at. He's on his bank. He's doing this. This is his stuff. So, yep. Okay. So keyloggers are scary, and they're also very difficult to track, aren't they?
Yes.
I mean, most virus protection softwares will not find these keyloggers.
Yeah, in most cases, if you've allowed them to log into your computer, it really needs to be wiped out and reinstalled with the operating system and your antivirus. There, again, back up your system. Again, what's secure? Back up all your data. The other bad one is the crypto locker and crypto wall. If they hit you, all your data and all your email, all your information, your pictures and everything are encrypted. And then what their program is to get you to pay ransom to get this back. And if you give them the money, it's kind of like, I stole your car, give me $1,500, I'll give you back your car. You believe that?
Absolutely.
Once they got the $15 as insult to injury, they're not giving back your car. They're not giving back. They're not going to decrypt your stuff. You're just adding insult to injury.
Right. And this has been worth hundreds of millions of dollars to these groups as well. So
the IRS virus they have made over $300 million
on the IRS scam.
And all of this is offshore. It's not here in America. It's over in India and places like that. So.
Nigeria, whatever. There's places that actually don't. Although I've heard now that the IRS scam in India, they've cracked down on some of these places.
Yeah.
So they've actually arrested some people.
And they have caught some people here in America sporting that.
Right.
Yeah.
But countries like Nigeria, and in fact, they almost promote it, the government does.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy stuff. So, all right, Mr. Ressler, after the break, we will continue our conversation on the 10 scariest scams of 2016. So come on back.
I was working in the lab late one night.
Right now, 46.
On Twitter, Facebook, online, and YouTube. supertalk1270.com.
Follow the Guru of Geek at facebook.com/The Tech Ranch or Twitter at Guru of Geek or thetechranch.com. Here again is your Guru of Geek, Marlo Anderson.
Hey, it's getting spooky in here.
Spooky. Yeah. We're on our annual Ghoulish show, the annual Halloween Trek, and of course we have the resident ghoulish expert, Mr. Nick Ressler, in-house.
And
talking about the top 10 scams of 2016. And this is important to everybody simply because you want to know what's going on out there so you are not separated from your money, from your, your working PC. There's all kinds of your identity. I mean, you really got to be concerned about these things that are going on out there right now. So we've talked about the IRS scam. We've talked about the PC fix scam. And the next one on your list, Mr. Ressler.
The fake counterfeit scam.
Okay.
Fake counterfeit.
Yeah, you go on the internet, you're looking for, let's say, a purse. What's a purse?
Like a Gucci or something?
Gucci.
Yeah. product.
Yeah,
Yep.
one of those really, really expensive purses. And, oh, my gosh, here's a company that's selling one for a third of the price. And you buy it.
Okay.
Well, number one, the purse is counterfeit.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not a real, like a Coach purse. It's not
Right.
real. Number two, you've given them your credit card. That's what they want.
Yeah.
And now they've got your credit card. They could care less if you don't want the purse and send it back. They've got your number, so that's the big one.
So are they setting up like shopping carts, Nick? I mean, is that really? Mm-hmm. So you need to be aware of low-cost goods.
And where you're shopping.
I've never heard of this before, actually.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it makes sense. And, of course, they set up the shopping cart so they, instead of the merchant card services like MasterCard or PayPal, I guess, or Visa or whatever, getting the stuff directly, they're just holding the information.
Sure.
So it's not a secured, oh, my goodness, that's
also,
crazy.
Also, their big deal is to sell it. You know, they themselves get the information, and then they sell it to the bad people.
So how do you prevent yourself from getting taken by this? I mean, would you call the firm?
Well,
or?
first off, stop and think. If they're selling a Coach purse for a third the price of what they go for, what's wrong with this picture? Okay, don't do it.
But there would be sometimes legitimate reasons, though. I mean, maybe there's a tear in it or something along those lines. No? Okay, no. I don't know.
No, if it's too good to be true, it's
too good to be true. Okay, okay, very good. Okay, fake counterfeit scam. Okay, very good.
Next one.
Yeah.
The fake check scam. I love this one.
Okay.
Now, you see something on the internet, or you post something to sell, and they send you a check, and it's way more money than what you wanted. And they get a hold of you and they say, we made a mistake, cash the check and send the balance back. And you're a nice guy and you cash this $800 check and you send $400 back. And their check bounces.
Oh, so now they got $400.
Now they got $400, boy.
And you're short $800. Gotcha.
Yeah. So a lot of people are falling for that one. They think, I had a friend that was advertising a Suburban, and it was kind of rusted out. And somebody from Africa offered to buy it 10 times what he offered or asked for it.
Okay.
And they said, we'll send you a check, but you have to cash the check and pay the shipping and all this and send it back to them. And I went, are you kidding me? What's wrong with this picture?
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, these are good. Keep going.
Okay, next one. This one, I wasn't even aware of this one until the other day. Somebody came into the shop and was talking about it. Pets for sale scam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you familiar with this one, Jim?
I don't know. I don't like anything involving the exploitation of animals.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, this one is they're advertising an animal like a dog or a pedigree, something that's really worth a lot of money.
Sure.
And at a lower price, and you send them the information and the money. You don't get the pet. Again, they've got your identity, they've got your credit card, and they turn around and sell it.
Well, unless you're a breeder or unless you're somebody who's interested in breeding pedigree animals, spending money for a pet is a waste. There's plenty of perfectly good animals at your local SPCA
right.
or the Humane Society or whatever you got in your hometown that are just waiting for a home and it costs you nothing, just the cost of the gas to drive over there.
But we know people who have bought pets and had them flown here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Had them actually put on a plane and flown here. So, so people are, and I would imagine
like people want to buy monkeys and that kind of thing, and a lot of that stuff is illegal,
right?
Because there are disease issues.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm guessing is happening here is they're just pulling on the passion or the of what you have for an animal.
Sure.
And
it's the old bait.
Yep.
Put the bait out there, somebody grabs it, and they hook the fish in, and then they clear out the money.
Okay.
They have no intention of selling you the pet. So if you're thinking about buying one of these, they say to avoid pet for scam, don't transfer any money to another person. Scam Guard can assist you. What you do is, if you get one of these, go on the internet, research it, and you'll find. Later on in the show, I'll tell you about one with like medicine. it sounds too good to be true. If you do a little research, there it is, and it shows you that all of this is a scam.
So one of the things, by the way, you were talking about the sites a little bit ago, too, why you're buying a purse or whatever at a third of the value, and then they're stealing your credit cards. Most legitimate sites will have an SSL security certificate on their website. It says this site's been verified by Google. I'm sure you've seen those, right? Mm-hmm. Or you'll see this SSL certificate. You can click on that logo, right? And it'll tell you the last time that site was checked and verified by that verification company. So if it was VeriSign or Google or Yahoo or whoever it is that that site is legitimately buying that service from, that'll tell you a lot of times if the site is actually legitimate or not. And it'll tell you the history of the site, too. Okay. So has the site been around for 2 days or it's been around for 14 years? I mean, it'll tell you all this stuff. So you can kind of build a confidence by having that third party. So that's one way I think you can kind of...
And if you just Google it, too, you'll see if somebody's gotten scammed and there's a lot of noise about it, it's all over Google.
Right. Yeah. That's a good way to do it, too. Just investigate and take your time. Mm-hmm. So, all right, next one on your list.
Next one is a grant scam, and this involves that there's a grant for like the government. You'll see a lot of this on. The president has allowed $40 million for homeowners.
Sure.
And people log on to this and they go into it, and what they're looking for is your information. They want to get your information. They don't want your credit card. They want your info.
Right.
And to even log into some of these to check them out, you have to give what? Name.
And Social Security number.
Date of birth, address, and then the big one, Social Security number.
Yep.
Anytime you have to give out that Social Security number, step back and question what is really going on and do a lot of research.
Interesting. So I had an email the other day saying that somebody had circumvented my PayPal account. And it looked pretty legit. I was looking at it. But one of the things that I always do is where you click, it says click here to go to enter your, right? So I hover over that. And then in the bottom left-hand corner, it'll tell you what website you're going to be going to. So to me, if it wasn't going to, so if I questioned it at all, and I hover over that, and it doesn't say that it's going to www.paypal.com, if it's wgipi.paypal.whatever.com, there's no way I'm clicking on that link.
And that's the important part. Watch the spelling.
Yes.
Because they're tricky.
They'll misspell it by one letter.
One letter, and you swear that was PayPal you logged into.
Yeah, because they can duplicate that site like there's no business.
Years ago, Norton, that antivirus company, was almost brought to their knees because they were faking that address. And people thought they would get an email saying that for half price they could renew their Norton,
right?
And people were logging on and throwing their credit card at it, and it wasn't Norton
at all. I know it's a scary thing actually. So you always got to be cautious of emails as well. After the break, Mr. Ressler and Jim's going to pipe in too occasionally, and we'll talk a little bit more about these scams. So come on back.
The attack of the killer tomatoes.
Ooh, nice choice.
Deadly nightshades.
Right now, 46.
Weekends with Twilight Zone Radio on Super Talk 1270.
We're back to the Tech Ranch. Stream this program now at supertalk1270.com. Here is your guru of geek, Marlo Anderson.
Believe it or not, this is actually the theme to a horror movie.
I love it.
The Blob.
I love it. Absolutely.
Early Steve McQueen production. It was like his first or second movie.
Sure. Absolutely. Hey, we want to thank all of our followers and listeners across the country, around the world, who follow us on the Blueberry Network, on the Tech Podcast Network. We're also on the Roku, on TuneIn, and, of course, our own app, Radio Pup, which is a great app, by the way. I used it a lot while we were traveling again. Love the Radio Pup. So sitting next to me is the ghoulish... I'm trying to come up with a new name for you.
The man with a face for radio.
Yeah. I think that'd be all of us in here, Jim, actually, the man with the face for the radio. So, but yeah, we're doing our annual Ghoulish show for Halloween here. We like to scare people every year, and we always bring Nick in to talk about the latest virus scams and threats that are out there. And we've been going through the top 10 scams of 2016, and I think we're down to, what, number 7 or 6
Six.
here? Okay.
Number 6.
Yeah,
Number
so tell us
six,
what number 6 is.
Big number 6 is the collection agency scam.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You get a call from one person claiming to be a collection agency, and they have all the information. I mean, they've got, information on you and your credit cards and they want immediate payment, or they threaten to come over and have the sheriff serve papers on you and arrest you. And on that one, again, you need to do some research and find out if they're legit and who they are and, what it's all about.
So is there some place that you can go online or some place that you can call to verify that the collection agency is legit?
Don't know. I imagine there must be. I mean, if you think about how many collection agencies are in this area.
I have no idea. But there's a few,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
but I'm sure if you did some research, you could find out.
Okay.
Well, I got a call from somebody about my student loans, and it was very easy to double check. You just call the school you went to.
Oh, sure.
Ask for Federal Financial Aid Department and tell them I got a call from so-and-so. Are they the people I want to deal with? And they'll say yes or no. In this case, they were the legitimate people, but I did check it.
Okay. Yeah.
So, interesting.
So that's what you need to do.
Okay. So again, don't believe it when on face
Don't
value.
take it face value.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of these, even like the IRS scam. The problem with that one was they were targeting seniors, older people, and they didn't question it. They, oh my goodness, we got to pay this money or we're going to be arrested, and they just did it. And that I would encourage all people out there, if you've got an older father, mother, grandparents, uncles, aunts, brothers, sisters, talk to them about this and explain to them. I've got a nephew, and my older brother is 93, and he gets these phone calls, and he goes to my nephew, and he says, his son, hey, I got this call. I got to send it, Dad, and he's got to set him down because, they're very convincing. So you've got to counteract that by giving information and telling them. The worst one was where a father told his son he won the European lottery, but he had to send $10,000. They literally had to stop him from doing that. He was at the bank making the withdrawal to write this cashier's check or whatever to send, and they found out about it, went over there and took it away, and he actually got mad at him. His dad, you didn't enter the lottery. How'd you win? He says, I was lucky. But they're out there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So that's great advice, Nick. It really is. All right, number 7 on your list.
This one here I hear about, and it's also on TV, on the news, and that's the house vacation property rental scam.
Okay.
A lot of times a house is for sale, and somebody will go over and take pictures of it and post it and sell it. And they're not the realtor. They don't own the property.
Okay.
And the person buys it, moves in, and then the owners come along and say, what are you doing in my house?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah. This has been on the news, especially with the collapse of the housing market. It made prospective owners opt toward renting a home and vacation properties, and they would put this up for rent, and the person would rent it wasn't the person that had the authority to do it. So that's a big one. So,
unbelievable.
And especially timeshares and things like that, you want to be real careful who you're dealing with and make sure they're actually the legit agent that you're dealing with.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting. I would have never thought of that. But that's big money.
Oh, yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars maybe for some of these.
A lot of times the people will trash the home, because they feel like they got
taken in the deal.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can see that. So, all right, next one on your list.
Payday loan scam.
Okay.
Scam artists love prying on victims as their utmost vulnerable moment, usually during difficult financial times. Victims resort to taking out a high-interest loan, and then they get a call and they say that they'll buy down that loan, and they want money up front, and they don't represent the agency that gave the loan. And how, they get this information that you have a payday loan, and they call you up and say, hey, you got that payday loan at 23%. We can buy that down to 5%, but you have to pay half the loan up front or, 0.25% of it. And you pay it, It has nothing to do with the loan.
I see.
Payday loan people.
Interesting. Okay. We're really rolling through these now, but a lot of them are similar.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. All right, next one on the list.
Next one, this one is the timeshare resale scam. And that's, again, that going back to the real estate.
Okay.
The timeshare property has been part of the biggest scams for decades, as the thought of sharing an ideal vacation resort property at a reduced cost. The scam preys on a myth to unload the property for a large profit. And the first time, you pay this and you think you got a timeshare and you show up and you don't because they're scammers.
Yep.
They don't have the authority to do that.
Yep.
So, again, all of these, in today's market, even when you go shopping, and this is another one that you got to be careful of. It's not on the list, but you see somebody on something on Facebook or on one of the internet sites that are selling stuff, and they say, "Okay, I'll sell it to you." And how do you get the product? Well, you got to meet these people. Where you meet them is very important. You show up at a parking lot, a dark parking lot at 8 o'clock at night, thinking you're buying a computer or some kind of electronic gadget, and the person selling it shows up and robs you. Again, you got to be so,
because they know you're
careful.
showing up with cash.
Yeah, they know you're coming, and they're not, and they've got you, so you got to be real careful. And the last one on this list, and then I've got another list of 10 more that'll really scare you, is the working from home scam.
Okay.
How many times have you seen an ad that says you can make $20,000 a week working from your home?
Absolutely.
Now, that's real desirable. I can sit in my pajamas, I can drink my coffee, I can watch TV on the side and make $20,000, right?
Where do I sign up?
Where do I sign up?
But all of them are scams for the most part.
Yeah, and most of the time it involves maybe stuff in envelopes or something like that. And even if you do it, if it seems legit, you don't get paid.
I see.
They rip you off.
Okay.
So that's the last on that list.
Moving on to the next, more scary list.
Good one here. I've not heard of this one. This is the Say No to Number 72.
I have no clue what that is.
Okay, I'm going to read it.
Okay.
A scam. A terrible phone call to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. A man tells him of a death in the family. Asks him to call another number for details and to begin his cell phone call with the code 72, *72. What this actually does is transfers all calls sent to the cell phone to a number the caller was given, the scammer's own number. And then the scammer gives you numbers to his buddies anywhere in the world, and they can phone him via your cell with you picking up the charges. So they've stole your phone.
They've stolen basically the SIM card information from your phone,
Yeah.
so now they can start calling all over the place.
So the solution here, don't use *72 on other forwarding code to forward calls to a number you don't know or recognize. You can enter 73 to clear the call forwarding.
Okay.
So I've not heard of that one.
Interesting.
I guess, but that happened over in Sioux Falls. So.
Okay. Very interesting. So, okay.
Yeah. Now, the next one I've actually heard about. This is the you didn't show up for jury duty. Okay. You get a phone call, and they tell you, you missed jury duty. And you go, what? I didn't get a letter. Are you sure? Well, let's verify your information. Now, what do they need to verify your information?
Yeah. Everything that they need to scam you out of your money.
Yeah. And that one goes along with, they'll call you and say, your order has been packed and it's ready to ship. We just want to verify your address. And you go, wait a minute, what order? Well, you ordered 40 Christmas trees. No, I didn't. Yeah, you did. Your name is Nick Ressler, right? Yeah. Okay, we got this order right here and we're ready to ship. Well, it wasn't me. Well, can you verify some information? Darn right I can. So you give them the information. bang, they got you.
Of course, they'll say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you are not the person we're supposed to be sending this to."
I'm
so,
sorry,
gotcha.
I apologize.
Yep.
You know, we made a mistake, and you hang up and say, "Boy, I'm glad I cleared that up."
Yeah. You cleared it up all
Your
right.
credit card bill, and holy smokes, what's all these charges?
Yep. All right. Well, I guess we're at that time again. So after the break, everybody, we will continue. Actually, it'll be Jim and Nick that'll be taking the show home today, as we are off to Kansas City.
Woo! Kansas City, here we go.
For another tech thing. So, all right, everybody, have a great week. But stay tuned for Nick and Jim.
Right now, 50.
The home for ABC News at the top of the hour is Super Talk 1270.
Follow the Guru of Geek everywhere he goes. Post your comments or questions at thetechranch.com. Once again, your Guru of Geek, Marlo Anderson.
The creepy and the kooky, mysterious and spooky.
And we're back. And who's that, Jim?
Sounds like Frank. I don't think it is, but check this out.
The Addams Family.
Dig.
The bed, it's a museum. And when the cats all fall by to see 'em, hey, they're a riot, they're a doggone scream. Hey, the Addams crazy bunch.
Here comes everybody's favorite part. Okay, I guess not. Bottom kind of dropped out there. Well, it's Halloween, strange things are happening around the old ranch.
Marlo disappeared.
Yeah.
I mean, just like that, poof, and he's gone.
I understand he's on his way to Kansas City.
Yep.
I'll have to get that song out, maybe.
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Yeah,
here
I come.
Well, Sheriff Nick, as we like to call you, what do you have for us? We've been talking about scams on the internet.
Right.
And we've been hopefully learning a lot if folks are paying attention, because I do notice a pattern here. It just kind of play on the innocence and ignorance of people.
And fear.
And fear.
Intimidation.
Yeah. When somebody calls up and says, you got to send us this or we're going to put out a warrant for your arrest. Well, wait a minute.
How about the hitman?
The hitman.
Oh, yeah. We've got the hitman scam. This is where you get a call telling you that there's been a hit put on you. Now, everybody, they've watched gangster movies and that. They understand what a hit means.
Sure.
And they're telling you to cancel the hit, you've got to pay $1,500 or $15,000.
Mm-hmm.
And that one, I guess you really got to be careful on that one, because these people are not playing nice.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, this has been gone around, and people again will go back to just using common sense. And if something like this happens, get a hold of the authorities immediately. And the hitman scam, they say you're being watched. Don't call the police and that.
Well, of course they're going to say that.
Do it.
Yeah.
Get them involved. Okay, then the next one is the pure water pressure scam. Now, this one is where they show up at your door. Supposedly, they're from the water department, and they're there to check your pressure or to check your system to see if it's working, like your meter and that. And you don't want to let these people in, because until they show proof and you can verify that they are from your local water department or cable TV or whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry. You waiting for a response? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. What can I say? You just have to be on your toes. And, when you get a call like this, my understanding is you tell them to mail you the information. That's one way of dealing with it.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got this information you want me to deal with, mail it to me.
Yep.
And if they say they won't or say they can't, then chances are it's not on the up and up.
Yeah. And if they're at your front door, you want to see identification.
Oh, yeah.
And then before you even let them in, if they say they're from the local water department, you want to call and verify that they indeed were sent out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next one is hooked by the text phishing scam. Now, I don't text, Jim. I have a Genius phone. It's an old flip phone. I make phone calls, and I receive phone calls.
Are you recommending that people don't?
I'm recommending that if you get a text, you want to be real careful. The scam, instead of sending you a phishing email, scammers send you a cell phone text message, supposedly from your bank, asking you to visit a website whose address looks genuine. and it isn't. And once you keyed in, it takes you to a bogus site that asks for your personal details to the bank and whatever. Again, stealing your credit card and your password.
Now, a lot of these bogus sites, they are just like 1 or 2 letters away from the real version of the site. They're counting, in a lot of cases, they're counting on people being a little sloppy in their typing or maybe a little dyslexic. We all have a tendency once in a while to kind of mix things up if we're flying across the keyboard there. And we'll come to what looks exactly like the right site, but it isn't.
Right.
Because, 1 or 2 letters are flipped around.
Another one is people that log on to the computer and check their account, their checking account, banking account, and that.
Yeah.
No, I don't do any online banking. I just refuse.
Okay.
There was out there for some time, here's how it worked. When you logged into the bank, they had software that was planted that intercepted that log. And once you put your password and your login information,
Right.
it came back and told you that the site was down temporarily to check back later.
Okay, I've seen versions
And
of
once
that.
you log out, then they flip that around, logged in. Now they've got your password and your login and clean out your account. Now, when I tell people this, their response for some reason is, well, the bank they owe me the money. I mean, the bank,
No, the bank had nothing to do with it.
No, because the bank says, wait a minute, you logged in at such time with your password and you cleaned out your account. Now, how are you going to convince them you didn't?
Yeah.
So that's something you have to be really careful
And in
about.
any event, I don't think legally they would be responsible anyway, unless it was through, you can prove it was through some neglect on their part.
On their part,
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is hard to do. The burden of proof is on you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, we saved the best for last here. This is a big one. Now, this was on 2020, and if you Google it, you can read about it. There's a church out there called the Genesis 2 Church, and their founder supposedly came from outer space, and he's here to save us. Now, that's a tip-off right there.
Yeah.
They're selling it's called MMS, which is a Miracle Mineral Supplement.
Oh.
And this is nothing more than industrial strength bleach. And they're claiming this will cure everything from AIDS to cancer, autism, everything. And they're giving this to kids, for crying out loud.
Oh.
Now, if you pull this up on Google and watch the 2020 version, you'll see that they actually poured this on, they got some of this stuff, poured it on a pair of jeans. And what does bleach do when it hits blue jeans?
The color goes away immediately. Yeah.
That's what it did.
Yeah.
That's what this stuff is.
Nasty stuff.
Yeah, and now there's another one. If you go online, and once in a while, when you go to Facebook and that, you see the ads over to the side.
Yeah.
There was one, and it was a TV personality claiming to have youthful skin. And the reason he had this skin was using this product. And the idea was you could buy this stuff for $5.
Right.
Now, most people, they're sitting there thinking, geez, $5 and I could get rid of these wrinkles and some of this stuff on my face or whatever. Well, once you logged in, you give them the credit card information. Again, they've got your credit card information.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next time you get your bill, if you look at your bill, all of a sudden, here's all these charges.
Yeah.
And it's from this outfit that sold you the $5 little package.
Mm-hmm.
And it just a ploy to get your information. There was another one that a friend of mine fell for. When you buy something on the internet, when you log out and it's all done, a pop-up come up and says, how would you like to save 10% on this order? Or $5 or $10.
Okay.
And you go, well, yeah. And you simply clicked on it. And then it took $10 or $5 or 10% off of your order.
So what do you do if that pops up? You just log off?
Yeah, you
Just
want
pull
to
the plug?
question it, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what he didn't realize is that every month he was charged $9.95 because on clicking on that, he signed up for a Buyers Club membership. So he was paying $9.95 every month. Now, most people, when they look at their statement, what do they look at? The big dollars.
They look at the big thing.
$60, $70, $200, $500. Who made this charge? Here's a little $9.95 charge. They blow right by it.
Well,
They
that's
don't question
really
it.
nefarious because if you can get 1 million people who are giving you $1 a month,
Doing that.
you and I would, like you say, you and I would barely notice it. $1. Oh, okay, I'll deal with that later. I got to deal with this, $100 with the utility company or whatever.
And anytime you get compromised like this, you got to cancel your credit card and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people don't realize is, this friend of mine, he had direct billing for his phone. And so he canceled his credit card, not thinking at the end of the month. And now the phone company called and says you didn't pay your phone bill.
Right.
So there you go. That's their Halloween show, the big scary.
Yeah, I hope you've been scared enough. We're not doing it to scare people, but we do want folks to keep their eyes open.
Exactly.
And to keep an eye on
Be vigilant.
Yeah. Eternal
question
vigilance.
Everything.
You got it.
Don't trust it. If it's too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true.
Never eat at a place called Mom's. Never play guards with a guy named Slick. And never go to bed with someone who falls in love more easily than you do.
Right.
Thank you, Nick.
Okay.
And that's it for the Tech Ranch this week.